Imagine a hall filled with the most powerful kings in history. The air is thick with the scent of incense and the tension of 1,000 silent warriors. At the center sits Yudhishthira, the emperor of the world. Beside him are the legendary Pandavas and the grandsire Bhishma. But the eyes of the assembly are not on the emperor. They are fixed on two men. One is screaming in a rage so violent that his face is twisted beyond recognition. The other is smiling, calm as a still lake, silently tapping his finger against his throne. 97, 98, 99. Most people think of patience as a weakness. They think silence means defeat. But in the Mahabharata, silence was a weapon, and the counting of numbers was the sound of a ticking bomb. This is the story of Shishupala, the man who was given a lifeline of 100 chances, and in his arrogance used every single one of them to dig his own grave. To understand why a man would dare to insult the Supreme Lord Krishna to his face, we have to go back to a dark and stormy night in the kingdom of Chedi. Shishupala was not born as a normal child. When he entered this world, the nurses screamed and ran from the room. The baby had 3 eyes and 4 arms. He didn't cry like a human infant. He brayed like a donkey. The king and queen were horrified. They prepared to abandon the child, believing him to be a bad omen, a curse upon their lineage. But just as they were about to cast him away, a disembodied voice boomed from the sky. It was a prophecy. The voice declared, "Do not fear! This child is powerful. Raise him well. But know this. His extra eye and extra arms will fall away only when he is placed in the lap of the person destined to kill him." The prophecy was a double-edged sword. The parents traveled far and wide, placing the monstrous baby in the laps of kings and sages, hoping to cure him, yet terrified of finding the cure. Finally, they visited their cousin in Mathura. The young Krishna, radiant and divine, casually reached out to hold the baby. The moment Krishna touched Shishupala, the miracle happened. The 3rd eye vanished. The extra arms fell away. The monster became a man. But the mother, Shrutashrava, did not smile. She wept. She fell at Krishna's feet, trembling. She was Krishna's aunt, and she knew the prophecy meant that her beloved nephew would one day kill her son. "Krishna," she begged, tears streaming down her face. Promise me you will forgive him. He is your blood. Do not kill him." Krishna looked at his aunt with eyes full of infinite compassion. He knew the future. He knew the destiny of Shishupala was already written. But he offered a compromise. He said, "Dear aunt, for your sake I will grant him a shield. I will forgive his errors, not once, not twice, but 100 times. I will let 100 insults pass. But the moment he crosses the 101st line, I will not be able to save him." 100 mistakes. It seemed like an eternity. Who commits 100 unforgivable sins in one lifetime? The mother was relieved, thinking her son was safe forever. She was wrong. As Shishupala grew, so did his hatred. It was a hatred fueled by destiny. He heard stories of Krishna's glory and felt only jealousy. But the breaking point came when Shishupala was set to marry the beautiful Princess Rukmini. The wedding was prepared, the guests had arrived, and Shishupala was ready to claim his bride. But Rukmini's heart belonged to Krishna. In a daring move that shook the foundations of the political world, Krishna arrived, swept Rukmini onto his chariot, and rode away, leaving Shishupala humiliated at his own altar. From that day on, Shishupala did not just dislike Krishna. He burned with a desire to destroy him. Every breath he took was an insult to the Lord. Years passed, leading to the great Rajasuya Yagna organized by the Pandavas. It was the ceremony to declare Yudhishthira the emperor. All kings were present. The time came to offer the first worship, the Agra Puja, to the most exalted person in the assembly. Bhishma, the wisest of them all, nominated Krishna. The assembly roared in approval, but one voice cut through the cheers like a rusted blade. Shishupala stood up. "Krishna," he screamed, "you choose this cowherd over kings? You choose a man who stole my wife? A man who is not even a king, but a mere politician?" The hall went silent. This was the moment. The insults began to flow like venom. Shishupala mocked Krishna's childhood, calling him a thief of butter. He mocked his character. He mocked the Pandavas for being weak. He mocked Bhishma for being senile. "One," Krishna whispered, his voice inaudible to the crowd. Shishupala's rage grew with the silence. He thought Krishna was afraid. He called him a cheater, a lowborn, a magician. 10, Krishna counted. The insults became more personal, more vile. The Pandavas reached for their swords. Bhima, the strongest of the brothers, began to rise, his eyes burning with fury, ready to crush Shishupala's skull with his bare hands. But Krishna raised a hand, stopping him. He was still smiling. He was still counting. 50? The kings watched in horror. Why was the Lord silent? Was he powerless? Shishupala danced in his arrogance, drunk on his own anger. He felt invincible. He thought the silence was submission. He did not hear the ticking of the clock. 90! Shishupala was exhausted, frothing at the mouth, but he could not stop. His destiny was pulling him toward the edge of the cliff. He looked Krishna in the eye and delivered a final blistering string of curses, attacking the very divinity of the Lord. 99. The hall was frozen. Shishupala took a deep breath and shouted one last terrible insult, laughing at Krishna's forbearance. 100! The counting stopped. The smile vanished from Krishna's face. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Krishna spoke, his voice resonating like thunder. "I have kept my promise to my aunt. The limit is crossed." In a split second, a blinding light filled the hall. The Sudarshan Chakra, the spinning disk of cosmic order, appeared on Krishna's finger. It hummed with the energy of 1,000 suns. Before Shishupala could blink, before he could reach for his sword, the chakra flew. It was over in an instant. Shishupala's head was severed from his body, but then something extraordinary happened. A bright light emerged from Shishupala's fallen body. It didn't go to the heavens and it didn't descend to hell. The light floated across the silent hall and merged into Krishna's feet. The assembly gasped. In his death, Shishupala attained the salvation he could never find in life. His hatred was so constant, so focused, that he had thought of Krishna every single moment of his life. And in the end, that focus liberated him. The story of Shishupala is not just about anger. It is a lesson about the long rope of karma. We often look at the wicked and ask, why doesn't God punish them? Why do they get away with it? But the Mahabharata teaches us that there is a count, there is a ledger. The silence of the universe is not weakness, it is waiting. The limit exists for everyone. Every action we take is a number. Every word we speak is a count. We must ask ourselves, how close are we to our own limit? Are we using our chances for good, or are we, like Shishupala, mistaking patience for permission? If this story of divine justice and the mysteries of the Mahabharata fascinated you, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are digging deep into the lost pages of the greatest epic ever told. Share this video with someone who needs to know that patience has a limit and justice always arrives. Until next time.